Well, listen, we met like 3 times in one day.
I
Remember
know.
when you say our trees were
The trees.
our threes were trees, right?
Yes.
3 times in one day.
3 times. Yeah. And when we get together, my accent gets worse. I'm noticing
I
by
gotta
the
say,
end
what's
of the
what
day.
3 times?
All right. So, you ready? God bless you.
Oh man,
That's
thank
what's
you.
what.
Model.
Model. All right. So, Frank, tell us a little bit more. We kind of touched a little bit on it when you were doing some drug dealing and stuff like that in the neighborhood. Can you expand upon some of that? I know you got some great stories here.
I really didn't start in drugs. I started bookmaking, shalocking. I'll tell you a story with the first game that I had. I tried to, now that you jog my memory, I tried to emulate my grandfather, who was big in the gambling business. I told you about Nunzi.
And this is your first venture into the gambling side of
My
it?
first venture to open up my own game,
Okay.
which was blackjack tables. So at Stringfellows, I made friends with this Israeli guy. Okay. And I'll go on to different things I did with him. Later on, he became a connection for me with guns and remote control bombs and stuff like that.
Okay.
But let's stick with the gambling first. I met him at Stringfellows, become friendly with him. One thing leads to the other. He comes to me and he says that his brother opened up a game in Midtown between like 6th and 7th Avenue. I want to say in the 20s or the 30s. Street, I don't remember exactly. What I do remember is that you used to knock on the door and walk down the steps. It was like a walk down. And then he had a nice little place set up with 2 blackjack tables. And, we had food there and coffee and he had a guy there by the door dressed in a suit and, a door guy to make sure who came in and out,
Like a speakeasy type of
Right.
storefront? Okay.
He came to me and said that pretty much would you put my brother, us, on record with you, meaning with them.
Okay.
So no other crime families, no other body would come in there to shake him down. I says, yeah, no problem. So I go by to look at the place. He had the places set up. It's doing this much a month. We got this kind of clientele. All the geisha houses. The geisha house, right?
Yes.
So when they get done, all the girls would come, all the staff, they will all come there and gamble. Anyways, this leads to a sit down with Joe Beck.
Okay.
And little Jojo Carrazzo. Because what happened was, unbeknown to me, what they forgot to tell me was that the brother, who I didn't talk to, I talked to my guy, the Israeli guy. There was a guy from the Gambino family, an associate, that was with little Jojo Carrazzo, who was a captain with John Gotti at the time.
And they left this part out. They didn't tell you this.
He didn't commit to him.
Huh.
I guess the guy was coming in there, mentioning John Gotti's name, trying to bully him into coming with them.
Okay.
The brother swears up and down he didn't commit to them. Okay. But they were there threatening him. That's why they came to me. But they left that part out.
Mm.
They didn't tell me so-and-so came in and, that there might have been a conversation or not. So it was kind of like they just left it out.
Yeah.
So what happens now? I told them, listen, you told them you're with me. I wasn't a main guy then, but I was directly with Joe Beck, hanging out with him every day. And I had a relationship with Guess and Georgie Neck and Brooklyn and the whole thing. So I was due to be made. But I officially wasn't a main guy. Next time this Gambino associate came in, they told him, where were Frank?
Mm.
So the guy's like, who's Frank? And they left him my number, my beeper number. This guy pages me. We get on the phone, and he starts talking right away on the phone like, what are you, crazy? Like, I mean, when John Gotti was around, these guys, they used his name.
Sure.
Like, didn't matter. Like, the phones weren't bugged. Like, they just talk like John Gotti. Just nuts with his name, right? Guy's talking to me on the phone. Like, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You want to pay? I'm on a pay phone. All right, well, let's meet. So we meet. And he's telling me, there's places with me and, with us. And he's saying, they've been with us for months. And all of a sudden he's mentioning your name. I'm saying, well, you know why? Your name never even came up. I know the brother now for about a year. I says, he brought me his brother. And here we are. So we get into like a little bit of an argument. He's going, well, I'm going to go to my guy. Go ahead, go where you got to go.
Yeah.
So where do I go? I go to Joe Beck. You know, so happens the guy's with little Jojo Carrazzo. And I go to Joe Beck. I tell Joe Beck the story. And Joe Beck says, he goes, okay, let's reach out, or they're going to reach out to me. He said, who was the guy's name? So we found out who. And back then I was hanging out with Joe like in the crap game. So like Grand Street was a big crap game it was on Grand between Mulberry and Baxter. Right? And a lot of guys in there were all mixed, you know, Gambino, Genovese, and, you know,
Everybody
everybody.
Yeah.
It's all neighborhood. And little Jojo was always in our neighborhood on Mulberry Street because he was always with John by the Ravenite.
Okay.
Anyway, everybody finds out who's who, and now there's a sit down. Okay. There's a sit down at Ray's Pizzeria.
Who you sitting down with?
There's me and Joe Beck.
Okay.
And little Jojo and this guy that comes with him.
Okay.
Right? So me and the guy are not made guys. So we can only be there for part of the conversation. We can't be there for the whole conversation.
Like the business decision-making part, you're not going to be there.
We're going to be there to tell each side of the story.
Right.
Okay? So I understand how it works. The other guy does too. We're sitting at the table, like a little booth.
Mm-hmm.
And Jojo Carrazzo, they all know Joe Beck. Joe Beck's been around a long time. And, you know, Joe Beck is probably one of the few guys that could walk into the Ravenite anytime he wants and speak to John directly. He's got that kind of reputation.
He's well respected, yeah.
Yeah, well known and well respected. So anyway, we started off, you know, all the hellos and how you doing and stuff. We sit down. And then Joe said, Joe, Frankie here is telling me, you know, Frank, tell him, you know. So I go over the story, and then the other guy's there, and then we're going back and forth, and it starts escalating again, right? So anyway, the both of them told the two of us to leave us be for a few minutes, step out. We didn't talk to each other. We just went a little one way, he went the other way, because we're both pissed off about the situation. Right? I see Jojo get nervous because I'm overhearing the conversation, how Joe Beck is telling him, wait a minute. He says, how did this guy, wait a minute, wait. He said, wait a second. I'm confused. Frankie, come here a second. So I get called back in. The other guy gets called back in. He says, what did the guy tell you? How did you know it was them? I said, well, the guy said that a guy was coming in here telling them this place is with John Gotti. So wait a second, Joe said. Let me get this straight. Somebody was going in there and telling this Israeli guy, mentioning John Gotti's name. I said, yeah, because how would I know what crew it was?
Right, yeah.
I wanted to know. Jojo looks at the guy, and he gets all, you know, because Jojo's looking at him like...
You lied.
Right.
You didn't tell us the whole truth. You didn't lie. He just didn't.
So I seen the way Joe wanted to sit down. Joe wanted to sit down on a technicality. Technicality was, didn't matter who went in or out of there. What he was hopping on was, which is smart. Go show you the old timers, because Joe Beck knows La Costa Nostra. He knows. He's had sit downs all his life, you know. Sat down with the best of them, right? He hopped on. Once he's seen a technicality, he zoned in on that.
Yeah.
Right? So what he did was, so then it didn't even get to be about who was there first or who was with who. What the conversation became was, your guy is throwing John Gotti's name around. He's not supposed to.
Right.
Not supposed to going over to strangers to the public or somebody that could, you know, draw heat to him.
Right.
You know
He's going to strong arm somebody and use John's name like that.
And when you think about it, when we went to go shake places down, or we went to go do it, we never mentioned Vic or Gas's name. Never.
You shouldn't have to.
No, we go in there ourselves and we just say, you're with us. Who's us? We don't say we're the Lucchese family. We don't say we're here for Vic Amuso and Anthony Casso.
Right. You can't say that because you're going to get a slap. Right.
You don't do that. It's for them to figure out who's who.
Right.
And what's what. Right. You don't tell them anything like that. And so anyway, Once Joe heard that, and the guy couldn't answer it, Joe Beck tells little JoJo, he said, "Do you want me to walk over there and tell John Gotti? You want me to go tell John myself what this kid is going around doing?" JoJo went, "Joe, no.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
It's not
I don't
necessary.
even want this fucking place. The car, the game, you can have it."
Right. So he's out.
Out. The other guy's pissed. JoJo starts yelling at him because this guy probably had a reputation for doing this type of stuff, going around and
More than likely, yeah.
yeah. Instead of going in on yourself on your own
Right.
merit,
Saying,
you're gonna mention John Gotti's name.
Team Uno, shout out to my Usos, killing bills like Uma. Balls travel from Pluto, big truck soprano, gabagool